Hey, Kevin here from DIYDork.com. Today I want to show you this makeover I did on my dresser that I'm kind of calling grungy modern style. So it's sort of like trashy meets classy. So check this out. Alright, so check it out. Here is the dresser I'm going to work with. I found it on Craigslist. I met the person at a Walgreens parking lot, which is unusual. I've never bought a big piece of furniture in a parking lot like this before. But anyway, I paid $60 for it, which was too much. I was really hoping to get a better deal. I was hoping to pay $40 or maybe even $50, but they wouldn't budge, and I decided to go for it because I liked it. And as you can see, it's a really terrible paint job, kind of a melted butter color. They brushed it on. Looks like they did one coat and then left it alone. I don't know if they're trying to go for a distressed look, but it does not look good this way. It just looks like a really bad paint job. So some of the problems it has is up here there's some bubbling in the veneer, which I hope I can fix that for the at least with the way I want to do the finish. I pretty much have to leave that alone, so I hope it looks okay. The other problem is that the second drawer won't shut all the way. This is as far in as it'll go. I think it's because this little detail strip right here is a little bit bowed, so it's hitting it. So my quick fix may not be the right way, but it's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull out this drawer and run it down my table saw and just cut a little bit off the very top till it slides in no problem, and I think it'll be okay. The other thing, as you see, I have a broken knob there and then just a single here, and then these all have the little double, screw mounts. So what I want to do, I like the singles, so I'm actually going to fill in all these holes right here and then re-drill a new hole to line up, and then I have 6 new wooden knobs to put on there, and just keep that real simple. Then for the finish, what I plan to do is, hopefully it'll work out, I want to take this old paint and just strip it off. So I'm going to put paint stripper all over it, scrape it off, brush it off, and go all the way, maybe 95% of the way. So it's mostly down to raw wood, but there might still be some paint in the crevices and all that, and then I want to leave it alone. Let it dry, clean it up, and then clear coat over that. So it has a really cool kind of raw, aged look to it. And then for the 3 drawer fronts and for the side panels that are inset a little bit, I'm just going to paint those with some black chalkboard paint. I've kind of been on a chalkboard kick lately, and I think they look pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. It's pretty windy outside, so hopefully the camera don't blow away. And anyway, let me get started. This should turn out pretty cool. Alright, and check it out. Here it is after I strip all the paint off of there. Looks pretty good. Has a really dingy, grungy look to it, which is what I was going for. And I kind of like that almost whitewashed, dusty look to it. I'm trying to determine if I like that or if I like the look of a clear coat, which I kind of got an idea of that just a second ago when I was cleaning it with that mineral spirits. All the wood parts just turned really dark and you only saw some of the white spots. It almost looked too clean, so I don't know which way to go. Also, whenever I paint the drawer fronts and the sides with that black chalk paint, I'm going to prime them with the chalk so they get kind of dusty gray colored, and I think that black might look better with this almost whitewashed look than the dark with the clear coat, so I might just leave it alone. I haven't quite decided yet. Alright, so next what I need to do is work on the drawer faces. So they need a little bit of Bondo work. I need to fill in the holes. There's a couple of scratches and gouges I need to fix. I also need to trim the one down on my table saw so that it'll fit inside the body of the dresser. Get them ready, and then sand them smooth, get a little bit of primer on there, and then I can start painting them with the chalkboard paints. And check it out, I got it sanded smooth. I have the old holes filled in with Bondo, as well as all the little chips and nicks and scratches. I got the new holes drilled out for new knobs, and it looks pretty good. Now it is ugly, but it'll look a lot better once I prime and paint it with the chalkboard paint. Now when I was sanding the drawers, I got a really cool surprise on the top drawer. Check that out. It had a hidden wood inlay design on there. That is really awesome. Plus it has sort of a chevron to the wood grain, so there is no way that I can cover that with paint again. So I'm actually just going to clear coat right over that, and it'll add a really cool little touch of design to the rest of this dresser. So I'll go ahead and clear coat that, prime and paint these with the chalkboard paint. I also need to prime and chalkboard paint the sides of the dresser, and then I got to add on the knobs, and this thing will be done. So it should be a pretty cool looking dresser. So let me get finished on it. So I got 3 coats of the chalkboard paint on the side panels, and I peeled the tape. It's ready to go. Same thing up here on the drawer fronts. Got the 3 coats of chalkboard paint. Looks pretty good. I have the new wood handles on there. I just have a little bit of clear coat on them, but the upper ones have chalkboard paint, so it all ties together. Last thing I need to do is just prime the chalkboard surface, which is you just rub chalk all over it and then wipe it down with a rag so it gets that dusty, chalky look to it. But I decided to go ahead and show what it looks like with the fresh paint because I think it turned out pretty interesting. So check it out. Here's what it looks like. I was definitely going very experimental with this. I wanted to kind of ride the line between awesome and ugly, and man, this thing hit the nail on the head. It's exactly what I was going for. So it's kind of my what I'm calling grungy modern. So it's kind of like the old trashy body here, and then classy drawers kind of popping out. So it's kind of a cool little experiment to try. I'm sure if I painted the thing white and did the wood upper drawer and then did these in gray or black or white or something like that, it'd be easier to sell, but it gets a little boring doing that sometimes. And I thought this would be a lot more interesting. So I think it turned out pretty cool. Now, after stripping a lot of dressers in the past, I've always thought that it looked pretty cool when you get most of the paint stripped before you like sand the rest off. So I was curious what that would look like to actually just finish one that way. I think it turned out pretty cool. One thing I was a little bit bummed about was the actual color of the wood underneath. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit lighter like that, but anyway, it has this more reddish brown look to it. But I think it actually looks pretty cool. So, you know, kind of turned out in the 3-tone here. But anyway, I think it turned out pretty cool. It's definitely a like it or love it type of project. Either someone's going to think it's pretty cool or they're going to think it's the absolute worst, ugliest thing ever, and definitely let their voice be heard. So it'd be interesting to see what the comments are on this one. But I think it turned out pretty cool. Like I said, it's almost like this old vintage dresser and then this new modern one popping out. So I think it turned out pretty cool. So that's how the grungy modern dresser turned out. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate that. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. That really helps get it out in front of other people that might like to check it out too. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. Keep up with more videos. And if you want to see some other projects I have some here on the screen and down in the description below as well.